Good morning. Welcome to OptionsTender. It is Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. We're going to go through SPX on multiple time frames, check out those indicators as usual, just to see where we're at. So far, we're making a lower high. The Qs did make a higher high. That's okay. They will converge at some point. I want to mention MJ. It's been insane. I believe a bottom is in. It's still a generational buy. Okay. I've made several videos talking about it's the best opportunity to buy into in a growth portfolio and just really nailing it. Caught some of those individual names in the bottom. Tilray, extreme moves. It's fantastic. All right. So still you're in the infancy of this this sector, and I do believe commodities are in a potential for a super cycle. In the cannabis stocks are going to be right there with them. Okay, so let's jump into our analysis. We have SPX on the daily time frame. We're just in an inside week. We're at an equilibrium. Is this a way forward to go higher in a triangle? Possible, or do we have a lower high to reverse? Both of those scenarios are possible. I think it's more likely that we spiked back into that historic 1929 trend line for a back test to see if we could get over, and we rejected off of it. So I like this. I think this is an objective short from this point. We added on to our shorts today. Just missed on the Qs. We're going to add some more on there. But I think we're in a good position. Let's check this out. So we have the moving averages, our 8 EMA momentum still up. We're in a bullish posture, no doubt about it, but we're at resistance. Okay, McClellan oscillator, it's same thing. Just negative divergence starting to play out. Market's getting weaker. It's barely trying to hold up, and we'll see if it can go any higher at this point. DMARC, I just skipped that one. So DMARC, I don't believe there's any setup here. We already had that 9,913, 13.9 count here and sold off, and now getting a lower high. I do believe that we had our next wave lower is is imminent. Okay, we talked about those targets yesterday. I think I'll show those again anyway. So here's our MACD. We can look at negative divergence. We're still looking for this histogram to turn red. That would mean a crossover here, bearish crossover. So I believe another down move, or basically new lows from here. We could see this crossover, and price should accelerate to the downside, especially with the sell signal on the daily time frame for the slow stochastic. And my guess, we'll look at NDX. My guess is that with this new higher high, look at that, negative divergence right in this near term. You don't have to have both indices do the same thing, but this is a great confirmation. We have two peaks here, negative divergence, negative divergence, negative divergence, all made today on the NASDAQ. Okay, and moving on. Awesome oscillator, same thing, negative divergence. And is this going to play out? Green bar, red bar. I think this will cycle over really soon here. Let's go to SPY so we can check out the divergences. All right, you have your money flow index, distribution, basically just going sideways, but we have our negative divergence. Each of these, as higher prices happen, we get these negative divergences, and that will end up playing out soon. As a matter of fact, I think if we just kind of draw a triangle here, you have this tightening position. It broke down, and back testing. I do think this resolves lower. I'll leave this in here. maybe we can start drawing some of these if it works out. Just like the RSI. But speaking of, if you're new here, the RSI, this is very similar to relative strength. It just adds volume into it. So it's, in my words, it's a accumulation distribution indicator. Bollinger Band, we already had a sell signal. We're coming off of the top band. We're forming a shelf right now. This is a consolidation area. Elliott oscillator said we had wave 3 into a higher degree of wave 3, which is a lower degree wave 5. So 3 into 5, and then 3 into 5. Those waves are, if not complete, then they are really close to being complete. And our VIX. So what changed in the VIX? We made a new low. I'll tell you what, more confidence. That's what changed. So we had this move lower into a minor cycle low, and now we're in a dominant cycle low here. We're in the window for a low. We made a new low. It's a divergent low with positive divergence. So maybe tomorrow is a little bit lower. I don't know that, but this is a lot more confidence. I thought we might get a higher low into this dominant low, but it makes more sense to make a new low, and we'll see this rising cycle start to take hold really soon here. And SPY on the 65. So our traditional look, you had an expanding move here. Had a breakdown off of the top of the megaphone and just getting to that gap area. Rejecting so far, but just creating an equilibrium. This could be a 1-2 setup where it heads lower, or this could end up being a triangle pattern for some sort of wave 4 in here. We do have that mapped out. And looking at the indicators, looks like we're on top of the 8 and fighting with the 20. So you want to see that hold above here to get higher. Was under here and gapped over. All right. And almost closed the gap. Not quite yet. So again, just in an equilibrium, could go either way at this point. Looking at the MACD, RSI, you had the negative divergence playing out. This again, we're in bullish territory. Bullish territory. If we see this crossover with green histograms, this can make a new high. That will make another divergent high. This will end up resolving to the downside, but it's a matter of when. So the same thing here. We had this negative. We had this high here. No negative divergence. You could say it's a class B divergence here. 2 tops, equal highs. And then with this, if we make a new high here, we'll certainly have another negative divergence here. See how that plays out. Slow Stoke is curling up. So that's, positive. That's in the bullish frame here. Check mark for the bulls. And let's see what happens with the DMARC. So still just counting in the red here. Could end up getting a 13 count pretty soon. But no setup yet. Awesome oscillator. Had the negative divergence here to here. And would create a lower one if we made a new high. And all of this already played out on NDX. So it does not have to play out on SPY. Especially since the market, if the tech market reverses, then it's highly unlikely that SPY will make those new highs divergent highs, I should say. Money flow, negative, heading out. We looked at the volume shelves yesterday. Let's bring those back. We're just looking at where this price action could go. And the 606 would be kind of our minimum area, 607, where price could get a bounce from our initial move lower. And if we break down from there, we have 603 and 598. So volume shelves right underneath, and that clearly plays out with this. There's a whole lot happening in here. Let's do Bollinger Band. Already had our sell, broke down. Bands are probably going to tighten up sideways here. Let's see if we push it to the upside or downside. Right now we're at a neutral stance. L8 oscillator, that already played out 4 into 5. So I think this move is done. I think you already had your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 complete here, according to the L8 oscillator. And just to give you a little look here, this still could be considered a wave 4. This is wrong. 3 into 4, that is the 23.6% retracement for the bottom of wave 2. Looking at this level, 1. There's a 2 under there somewhere. 2. And the 23, I already did it. I took it off today. Brought us back here, so that's possible. But I think it's likely we are complete. Just like that. All right. So let's see what happens with price. That's I can show you the VIX on a 65 because it is significant that we're down at, you have a trend line that can go here, but we also have one that's already connecting these lows at this point. So it doesn't need to go any lower, could, to reach that trend line, but we're really close either way. If we make a new low here, then maybe SPY continues to move a little bit higher. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. Just watching these developments. It's so important to interpret these indicators, and that's what we do here each and every day. So don't forget to hit that notification bell, and also like and subscribe if you're brand new here. We're doing this intraday about just before noon Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member or supporter for 99 cents a month. It comes with the Discord and trade alerts. If you want to go a step above, that's $4.99 a month. And you get these individual names where we had Cannabis. And we took an NVIDIA trade today. And I went through and explained them. We have cycles, all sorts of stuff happening on that for such a low price. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.